Welcome to holisticinvestment.in YouTube channel. We help individual investors like you to take a right financial and investment decision. Effective investment decision making requires a detailed look at data. But it is very possible you as an investor might not be seeing the whole picture when taking an investment decision. Survivorship bias comes into play when an investor over focuses on a success story and ignoring the failures. Usha Nair, investment expert, is with us to explain how this bias is actually an investment trap and how to overcome this bias when taking an investment decision. Usha, over to you.
Any book, any article, any newspaper, we only hear about startup investing today and the success of Steve Jobs, college dropout, Mark Zuckerberg, sat in the hostel room dormitory and created a social network, and that became Facebook. Netflix, some story about the promoter originally not wanting to pay fine for a video cassette he rented, and he got upset about it. And that led him to think about Netflix as a streaming business, and he created a billion-dollar company. Some other story about Steve Jobs, having started as a child, got with a teacher, kept playing, and the story about Steve Jobs taking a calligraphy class when he was a college, and that leading to, Bill Gates, when the font, this thing came, all these stories. So, and one commonality is all of them are college dropouts. But we know if you are a college dropout, out of millions of college dropouts, you get to hear about 4 such stories. You don't get to hear about 40 lakh stories, 5 lakh successful Steve Jobs or Bill Gates. So the narrative becomes like a lot of times, sometimes, you hear children telling, it's okay, Bill Gates is also a college dropout, Steve Jobs is also that. But that doesn't mean I will become by being a college dropout or Steve Jobs. That requires a different level of intent, intensity, intellect, brilliance, and that is once in a century, once in a millennium, kind of a invention or people that happen. Now, even in stock market, you always associate with to such successful stories. What are the successful stories that you will say? You will say that, oh, Rakesh Junjunwala started, he passed away a couple of days back. You will say that, oh, he started at the age of, with such a small corpus. He didn't buy a house till late in life. Warren Buffett started when he was 11 years. He saw an investment and made billions of dollars from Coca-Cola. These are all successful stories. Somebody will say, okay, I made money. And that is the chart that I've put up here. I want you to type on the chat box, what investment gave this return? And this is real return from some asset class return that we all see, hear, talk about in recent times. This is crypto actually. This is 124% return, and then 1,300% return has made. Equity, maybe, one odd stock, which is 2 rupees going to 100 rupees or 200 rupees can happen. But this is not that. This is that wave also that got created with that conversation. Now, let me show you one data point. The return that I showed you happened here, 2016 to 2017. This is that journey, which is 124% in 1 year and 1,000%. 10% of investors were invested. And there are studies made. It's not my data. The charts, the link, you can Google and read it. There are enough and more studies done on it now. Studies in the sense, data on how investors got carried away and all of that. This is 10% of investors have invested in this asset class and made money in this period where it generated supernormal returns. And from there, if you see, the returns subdued. So you can well imagine a lot of investors started coming into this in 2000, later on into 2017, because you saw this crypto return of 1,000+%. A large number of investors came in this phase, which is 2018, as I told, after you saw that return and some correction had happened, and some money was made. Initially, there was no money made, by the way. You can see the chart here. Then I'll just show with the pointer. And then the returns, sort of moved up. But 55% of the investors came. So this is 55, this is 35, and this is 10. This total is 100%. 55% of the investors came in here from this period, and the rest is history. You know what has happened. So this is how survivorship. So I, as an investor, will say, oh, I invested in crypto. Ramalingam sir will say, yes, but Usha, within that I did this. This is how the conversation will go. And some of you who listen to this conversation, read my tweet, my YouTube video, coming and promoting. See, these are easy things today. Earlier, if I had some idea, I could not communicate. Today, everybody in the world can become a Warren Buffett, and all you need is a YouTube channel, and you put up something, and you are becoming a hero in investing. You people make it look so simple. You know, there are 15-year-old kids who come and talk and challenge what the greatest investors in the world have done over 50 years. So they say that the gray hair is for nothing. We know it better. That's the kind of attitude people show. And I personally experience that when you talk, to new joinees in the companies. We do a lot of sessions with new employees in many software companies, and it's very difficult to engage with them and tell them that what you think is not how money is made or managed, but their belief system is very different. So this is that, largely that trend that happens. But 50 to 55% of them haven't made money, or rather have lost a lot of money, right? Now, this is the survivorship. So you see this data, get excited. You hear someone who is raving about it, who is bragging about it, that I did it. And then the reality is something else happens to the investor. The last one is how recency affects you, how the noise in the recent past, the headlines of the recent past makes you worry. Okay. And that is usually the recent news is never the time to react. It is not like a medical emergency. If I have got COVID today, if I test positive, I take treatment. If I have a heart condition, I go to a doctor, have to do immediate action. People will say, do an angioplasty, do an angiogram, let's do an angioplasty, do a surgery. If there is a need for a dialysis, please do that. That requires immediate action. If I have got a parking ticket, or if I have, got a traffic violation, and if my policeman has stopped me, I need to pay the fine and release my car or vehicle and move ahead. That needs immediate action. But when in investing, the recent event does not need us to act immediately. This is an image of the famous or the infamous, September 11 attack, the World Trade Center bombing. What happened is there was an airport security failure, which led to this attack on the Pentagon and the World Trade Center, etc. Subsequent to that, all of us can rewind, because we have all lived through that period, right? It's only a few years, 20 years, 2001 is when this happened. So we are in a 20-year, 2 decade after that has happened. And we all are adults to remember what happened. The security of the airport system moved, and you can again read about this, increased tremendously after that. The scanning method, the not allowed to carry any sharp objects, the X-raying and whatnot, liquid. You can't even carry a bottle of water. Many, many things improved significantly. But people decided it is not safe. So in a way, post that was a better time to travel rather than pre-September, the World Trade Center bombing attack from a security perspective. But people started fearing that this is the worst time. When airport security improved significantly, people took to roads. And in the US, this led to higher road accident rates. There is statistics which shows that. So the recent event of a September 11 attack made me decide that it is not the time to travel. When the safety of travel improved significantly, I ignored it completely and decided there is a better way to travel, and which is by road, because this attack, terrorist attack, etc., does not exist. And that had actually led to heightened road accident, because the road suddenly had a higher percentage of vehicles, which was not there in the past. So long distance driving increased, and that led to attack. Recently, I met someone who said during COVID, once that first wave ban got lifted, he said, I traveled extensively because it gave me ability to travel with much less cost, and there was nobody traveling. Everybody was scared of COVID. Now that is, he got to do something different, which he wanted to do, save a lot of money, get the benefit of the generally staying indoors policy that a lot of people followed during COVID times. So you and I need not do that. We can stay safe, we can be at indoors. But when it comes to investing, it's very important to take action at the right time. And the right time is never the time with good news, it's always the time with bad news. Another example, should we call Virat Kohli as a zero or a hero? I'm sure the jury will be out there debating. It is still difficult to decide. If you look at his overall match statistics, 260 matches, this is one day internationals, average of 58 runs, fabulous track record, 43 hundreds and 64 50s. This is his overall career. Now, if I split his overall career till 2019 end, which is about 3 years back, and then since the beginning of 2020, the statistics just changes. 59 average suddenly drops to 39. 20 runs it drops. No century, 950s. A man who has scored 43 centuries in 18 matches has not scored a single century. 39 becomes his average, whose average is so that badly you should have done for you to bring your average down to 18 by 20 runs. However, his overall career statistics at 260, so in 260 matches, it is less than 10% of my matches, less than 8% of the matches that I have not done well. 92% of my matches I have done well, right? And still we debate whether he is a hero or a zero. This is what happens when you come to investing. DSP FlexiCap is our longest fund. It's our flagship fund. This is the fund with which DSP launched its asset management business in 1997. In the 25 years that we have managed money, we have generated a return of close to 18.5% since 1997. I'm leaving that. I'm just showing you a 15-year journey. 15-year journey, your money has grown up 6.5 times if you have invested in this scheme. 13% is the return. Last 6 months, last 5 months, the return has been poor. Okay, that is from April to August. The return, and in fact, now we have started again coming back, but whatever is the reason. Do you say that this fund is a bad fund because of 150 days of poor performance? Or you say the fund is a good fund for a 15-year track record, 25-year track record that it shows. But usually our mind is wired to consider this 150 days, 365 days, 1.5 years, completely forgetting the 260 matches may less than 10% of my matches I have not done well. I have done well in 90% of the matches. In 15 years, I've generated return. 25 years, I've generated return. 5 years, I've generated return. Does 150 days make me a zero is the question that is to be asked.
Thanks for your insightful answer. If you have any questions related to this or any other investment options or related to your financial goals, feel free to book a free appointment with our financial planner. The link to the free booking is given in the description below this video. Also, will you be interested to attend insightful investment webinars? Then feel free to register for our upcoming insightful enlightening investment webinar, and it is completely free. The registration link for the upcoming webinar is also given in the description box. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Also share it in your social circle. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel so far, please subscribe now. Bye.